Oh, you keep sneaking up on me over there. How you doing? Welcome to another Today's Decay. You're just in time. July 12th, all day. What happened? What happened? That's a good question. I was just actually wondering that myself. Today, in 1874, Baroness Elsa von Freytag-Lorenhoven was born. I know, it's a mouthful. Gesundheit. She was an early Dadaist. Is she? I always say this, and I'm gonna say it again. I feel like the Dadaists were the first Bromley contingent, and she would have been like the Jordan, I guess, I suppose, or maybe the Sioux Catwoman. Yeah. I'm gonna say she was the Sioux Catwoman. If we needed to have direct connections for like 76 punk people to the Dadaists, and in her case, she would like live in New York City and leave the house like strapped to her body with various kitchen utensils, and would write like crazy nonsense poems and do live theater things, and was very inspirational. And I bet you, I don't. That's actually, this isn't just me. I think she is the R. Mutt Duchamp urinal is almost definitely a Baroness Elsa von Freytag-Lorenhoven creation, and he stole it. Not just my opinion. I've read it as a theory, and I feel like that theory about the urinal holds water. Thank you. I'll be here all night. What else? Raoul Hausmann, born today, 1886. I believe also Dadaist, but he worked in collage mostly, and really great work, I have to say. Todd Browning, born today, 1880. So, here is Dark Carnival by David J. Scow, who I was able to interview a bunch of years ago. Unfortunately, he passed away, an untimely passing. Was in a car accident, if I remember correctly. But he left us with quite a lot of wonderful work. He was really featured heavily in a lot of the 1990s like extras on like, or maybe 2000s, like DVDs, and like a lot of the like Universal Monster documentary supplemental content on a lot of those releases, and did the Monster Show, and Dark Carnival, which is entirely about the life and work of Juan Todd Browning, who, was born today in 1880. He, oh, I didn't go in chronological order. Oh no. Started his career, so to speak, in the circus as a act called the Hypnotic Living Corpse, where he would get buried underground for days at a time, and people would be marveled that he still wasn't dead yet. I don't really know how this worked, but apparently he survived on malted milk balls. Whatever that means, however this played out, don't know. Then winds up going to Hollywood and was in a terrible car crash, oddly like David J. Scow, but did survive. And his friend sitting next to him at the time, and this is like pre-World War I era, I think. There was like not even like driving laws yet. Whoever he was, his passenger in the car, did not make it, but he did. And then he got into directing, and was a big boozer as well, and did a whole bunch of films with Lon Chaney Sr., where he cuts off, appendages, be it his legs, arms, what have you. And I feel like he's a director of an earlier generation that's like really comes from the stage rather than like more cinematic Karl Freund type sweeping camera movements and stuff. And you can see it in a lot of his films. But he still maintained and did some wonderful work throughout the years. And I think they kind of kept like quietly firing him, and he just kind of kept coming back. And I'm glad he did, because eventually we get Dracula and Freaks, in the early 30s. And one of his last movies, I think, is Miracles for Sale, which is a surprisingly good movie. That's like all about magic and people ripping each other off. A lot of his stuff was about like going back to carnival type sleight of hand, or ripping people off, more than it being about actual occult or supernatural. Yeah. This is a great book. You should read this. Strongly suggest. And why not crack it open on the day he was born? 1880. And what else? Mad Love premiered today, 1935. Easily one of my favorite films. Starring Peter Lorre, Francis Drake. Directed by Karl Freund. Here is a Spanish language. I don't know what it is actually, but I love the artwork. It's I guess a photo play, but like a severely edited one. The other title, the original title is Hands of Orlac, because it really is not the first time that this source material, like there's no way this is the whole film, but there are stills in the movie. I love it. So good. It's Peter Lorre's first film in America. He did M and a couple other films in Germany, and then left, and then worked with Hitchcock and a couple others in England, and then came to America, where this was his real entry into the American market. But yeah, but there's no way this is like the full film or the full story, because the source material is here, Hands of Orlac from 1930, or the English language translation by Maurice Renault. This is the whole damn story, and I don't know how they edited it down like that, but it's a great story. Filmed at least 3 times. The Conrad Veidt version from the mid-20s, the Peter Lorre one from, what did we say, 35, and I know there's at least another one with Christopher Lee, I think, in the early 60s. Never seen that one. I know Seven Films recently put it out. Maybe that's worth watching, but really, Mad Love is the classic in my opinion. Peter Lorre, all the way. All the way. So, that is it. July 12th. I've given you your marching orders, should you choose to follow them. Till tomorrow, goodbye.